What's going on, you guys? Daniel Cruz here, back again. Cook with Cruz, another episode. Today, I'm going to be breaking down a beat. Found this loop off of Splice that was super fire. I couldn't pass it up. I had to flip it. That's what I'm going to show you today, this beat that I made with this loop here. I did a video like this. It was like episode 2, 3, 4, something. One of my first episodes on this series about loops. I'm going to emphasize it again here, how I be creative with loops. I see a lot of, producers out there bashing people for using loops, saying it's not creative, when hip-hop itself was founded off of sampling and basically looping older records. It just doesn't make sense to me. I think subconsciously they are mad that we got a lot of producers out here making crazy amounts of money, really just composing their own sample packs and selling them. Honestly, don't know what it is. This is coming from someone, me. I've been playing the keys for over 12 years now, been writing my own melodies for over 12 years. I got no problem with using loops. I think they're crazy dope. So if you have problems with people using loops, I don't know, do your own thing. People say it's not being creative. I'm gonna show you today how to be creative. Literally all I did was took this loop and added some drums, which is like what people see as being not creative. So I don't know what it is, this new wave of, people, small group of people, just bashing people for using loops. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make you not a producer. Although I would advise, I wouldn't completely rely on using loops for every single beat you make. You can really limit, the amount of work you can do, but there's definitely nothing wrong with, using loops and samples and stuff like that. And yeah, I want to do this to hopefully inspire other producers who feel like, I don't want to use a loop because somebody else got it. It's the wrong mentality to have. I'm going to show you what I did to this loop. That's on Splice. Anybody can get it, but I guarantee you no one's going to flip it like this unless they watch this video and just copy what I do. By the way, please don't do this. Don't copy my stuff. I don't want to have to chase you down or whatever. But yes, I'm going to show you what I do to loops, how I flip them, and just be crazy creative with them. And I guarantee you no one's going to have the same exact beat as me, even though this beat is available to the entire world essentially, because it's on Splice. No more talking from me. I'm gonna jump in and show you guys what I did. So by the time this video drops, some of you already may have heard this loop. Again, it's no secret, it's on Splice. I'm gonna play the raw file right here for you. First heard that and I was like, wow, I can't pass up on this. I gotta flip this. So initially I chopped it up into two sections. There was that beginning section and the section with the crazy strings. So the next thing I did to be creative, to be different, first thing I did was pitch it up. The tempo's gonna be different too. Added some EQ here, cut out the highs, and some crystallizer here, which is a cool delay effect. Didn't want to add it all the way. It's pretty intense if you have it on all the way. But there we go. That's step one. Go in, add some VSTs. Sound Toys is crazy. Go invest in some of their stuff. Very good for sound design. If you've seen my other videos, Echo Melt's a good one. There's a ton of VSTs out there that you can put on top of these samples, loops. Just experiment, have fun with it, be creative, and you will come up with something different than what everybody else has. So now we got those effects on top. Let's see what it sounds like now, just a little different. So now we got it sounding a little different, but I'm not stopping there. I'm doing other stuff to it to completely just derange it and make it unrecognizable from the original going in here. So I took our loop there that we now have. I rendered that to audio so that all the effects are onto it. And then I added a gross beat preset onto it. It's not halftime, it's a different pattern that I used, and it completely changed up the loop. I'm going to use this for my drop. So we got that melody that plays in the beginning and it's going to drop into something completely different, but it's actually the same loop as before. So with this new effects now, this is what we have now for the loop. See where I'm going now? You can do crazy things to be creative with it. That's just one example of what you can do. There's literally endless possibilities, and that's the fun about producing music. There's no right or wrong. There's no science to it. Just really experiment and do what you feel sounds good. So that's one cut I did to the loop there. So what I have here is School of Whales, some really dope cinematic patches. Again, I mentioned last episode, I really like my beats to sound like movies. I like a lot of cinematic patches that sit in the background of things. So now combining those two layers together, it's not even close to what we started off with. And I really just kept it that simple. I was really feeling that right there, so I went and added some drums. For this section here, drums are just really simple. Close that. A couple different ones, layer them together. That's all the drums I have for that part coming in. Wanted to keep it real simple. And real quick before we go into it, I mentioned it in other videos, I always use rise and hit for my transitions here. This is going to play coming into the drop here. That's hard. So there goes the drop right there. Again, that's just only one cut I did of the melody there to switch it up and be creative with it. So after those first 4 bars, I'm going to bring back the loop from the very beginning with just the EQ and the crystallizer. And then from here, the drums are going to build up and be more full at this point. So our kick comes in right here. We have a different snare than what we had right here. Little percussion hit. One open hat. Another open hat. More closed hats. So there we got our drums in full there now. And now for a third cut of the loop that I did differently. Again, I took our main loop with the crystallizer, the EQ, took the effects, and then this time I just half-timed it. One more time, we're bringing the original loop back, going back and forth between the variations that I made, just to make the beat sound interesting and different. And this part going in is probably going to be like the hooker break. And again, we're not done, you know, really adding stuff and being creative with our loop here. So I took the second section of the loop. It had like some crazy strings going on. That's going to come in. I added a bass and a pad here that I'll show you what I did. And that's another big thing. Start adding other instruments, layers on top of the sampler loop you're flipping. That's going to make it sound different and you're going to be creative with it. Once again, it's important not to add something too crazy on top of it. You don't want to drive away from the loop, but just kind of layer with it. Think of it like as a layer. So you're emphasizing what's already there. And that's what I did here. Here goes the bass, what I played on it. So there goes our bass there. That was analog wide lead bass, by the way, in Omnisphere here. And I just added some decapitator, thick mild crunch preset, and some echo melt onto it. Now for the choir pad I was talking about, got one of my favorites, Atlantean Key Choir here in Omnisphere. Just played some basic chords to what I felt was inside the sample here. So that's pretty much our break or hook there. I'm going to play it from the top now so we can hear it in full. So there goes the whole beat there, believe it or not. You could argue that all I did was just add drums to the loop, and essentially that's all I did, especially for the verses. But again, this is just showing you ways that you can be creative with these loops. But yeah, I really wanted to make this video about this beat here because I essentially just took a loop and added drums to it. But that's just one way of an infinite amount of ways you can be creative, flip it, and come up with something completely different. Let me know down in the comments what you guys do to make your samples, loops sound different. Would love to hear your thoughts on it. It would also help everybody else. It's just going to expand our creative library of VSTs and everything like that. Really hope you found this video useful. Let me know what you think of the beat too. I really hope this inspires you guys to really expand your creative library on things that you can do just to flip loops and stuff like that. Leave a like for me if you can, if you enjoyed this video and it helped you out. I would really appreciate it. Subscribe as well. I'm dropping Cook with Cruz videos every single Sunday. Leave me some suggestions down below of what you want to see more of as well, some topics that you want covered, more detailed breakdowns and stuff like that. Please let me know. I will definitely get to them in future episodes. But that is all for me today. I will see you next Sunday. Peace.